Take a rock, take a rock. Here's your rock, Nelson. We're gonna smash some stuff.
So this building, we started this project about probably 2 weeks ago. It's a big, gigantic project. We have a very high reach machine for this particular job, and this building's been sitting vacant for a long time. They've had a lot of problems with vagrants and homeless people camping out in here, and they're tearing this down because they're getting pressure because it's a safety hazard. So it's been vacant for a long time. We actually bid this out for another company, and they ended up selling it to these guys, and we're tearing it down for them. And this is a really good location. It's a central location in Fort Myers, Florida, and somebody's probably going to build some big factory or something here. So Remove It Pros Demolition, Dave Lockwood, and we'll see you on the next video. So welcome to Swamp Cabbage Court. This is in Fort Myers. This building is very large, as we've come to know it, very well built. If you watch this video all the way through, you're gonna see something that's kind of amazing. The footers on this building, they're gigantic. In the way they were built, they must have used some sort of a specialized concrete because they just wouldn't come apart. We ended up renting this machine. That's a high reach machine. It's about 1 or 2 sizes bigger than the machines that we own. And that's Colton on the machine. Colton's been operating since he was a little kid, so his grandpa taught him how to do the excavating stuff, and he loves it. I actually talked to Colton about doing some other stuff, and he's like, I love what I do. So what we're doing here is stripping out the inside of this building. The idea is to get the C&D, the construction debris. Construction debris is like asphalt shingles, it's wood, it's insulation, it's drywall, the wiring, all that kind of stuff. We try to separate that stuff away from the concrete. So if you take, let's say, a 30-yard dumpster full of C&D, it might weigh 4 tons. First of all, 30-yard dumpsters with concrete in it would be almost too heavy for the trucks to pick up. So what we do is we do our best not to mix this stuff up. We're putting the concrete and construction debris in 2 different places. So the guys have been in this building and they stripped out the whole interior of it and threw it out the back of the building, and then he will separate it as he goes the best he can. So this building is gigantic. It's got 2 elevator shafts, 2 staircases. Look at how powerful that machine is. Just pushing that concrete around like it's butter. It's just crazy. So this machine has almost a 40-foot reach. Our machine has about a 30-foot reach, and you wouldn't think 10 mean a lot, but it does. When we're done, all the asphalt will be gone, the building will be gone. That's Sepio. I like to joke, everybody tells him he's my favorite employee. He's a workhorse. He does the work of 2 guys or 3 guys, really. He just doesn't stop. We have 4 very big projects going on right now. It's kind of spread us kind of thin. We are working our butts off. So he's in here explaining to Lee, who's our cameraman, he's explaining what he's been doing. The concrete companies, when we're taking concrete to them, they do not want any debris in the concrete. The reason being is they're going to mulch the concrete up and use it as gravel. People don't want miscellaneous construction debris inside of their gravel. They don't want any of that stuff.
All this clean, all this when the machine coming, more easy to push it. This is a helicopter, and I had yesterday.
Yeah?
I see a little snake I had yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I'm scared when you see
What?
it. Red, white, gray. See?
Really?
It's like that. I was scared. I said, I go wrong way.
No way.
Yeah, I was scared.
Said he found a snake, and the snake was red and white and gray, and he didn't like it, and it scared him. So it's kind of funny.
There it is. There it is. Oh my God.
So he's explaining to Lee what's going on here. Lee actually gave the guys rocks earlier and had them throw them through the windows just for some fun. You know, doing demos kind of fun. It's fun in a lot of different ways. That's Colton. He's spreading that concrete out in that dumpster. We use the 20-yard dumpsters to do the concrete. Because they're shorter and the way they're made, they're structurally stronger that way, and you can't take the amount of weight in a 30-yard dumpster and be on the streets legally. You're not allowed to do that. That fence right there, that would have been a very expensive application, and that fence was part of the reason why these guys were being pushed by the city to tear this down. They had a pretty significant vagrant problem here. This is real close to low-income area. It's close to the downtown Fort Myers area. Apparently they had a lot of problems here. It sat empty for a long time from what I understand. So that's Colton sitting up on top of a debris pile. Now that is C&D. It's got concrete dust all over it, so it doesn't look like C&D, but it is. He's basically putting that in the 30-yard dumpster. The dumps from this location, they're not very far away. This is Colton jumping out right here. I think he's going to take this load. It might have been a day when the other driver was running for someone else. We had a lot going on, and so he's running this himself. You can see all the debris inside. So the guys are just knocking the debris down and throw it in the middle room. There's no reason to run it out of the building, because as he chunks the building down little by little, he can separate it and pull it out. At the very tail end of this job, we got down to the footers, and they were so big and wouldn't come apart and had so much rebar in them that we ended up having to put a jackhammer on one of our machines to break it up, which I'm telling you, we hate doing that. It has a tendency to jiggle the machines apart and jiggle all the bolts out of it. This machine here is a rental. We don't do that many really big, tall buildings, so when we do, we just rent the machinery. There's no sense in having it sit all the time when we're not using it. We got into the actual building demolition part of demolition. We've been doing primarily hands-on demolition. We actually started in 2010 as affordable demolition. We're working in a pretty high-end, fancy market. We marketed in the wealthier luxury areas, and we do a lot of luxury work. This particular job is not luxury or a luxury area. So there we are, dropping another 20-yard dumpster, and then he'll hook the other one, and off he goes. Got a couple more guys there. The one guy's running the hose, although he's not running the hose right now. Those guys have been stripping out the interiors. So off we go again to the dump right there, and again, it's not very far away. Got two more dumpsters sitting out front that are full. These are the elevator shafts. A lot of times the elevator shafts are built very sturdy. These particular ones, not so much. The actual machine there, it's just amazing what they can do. I mean, look at that. It just pulls that concrete apart like it's butter. It's truly amazing. I don't operate as much as I used to, but I enjoy it. It's one of those great joys in life for me. If I could make really good money, I might even do it for free. I mean, Colton just loves it. I don't know why. It's like a puzzle all day long. It's like you're deconstructing something and trying to do it in such a manner where you actually end up making some money. Because if you send a bunch of that concrete to the C&D yards, what happens is you end up not making any money, because what you do is you kill it on your weight. A normal construction debris dumpster, you know, a 30-yarder should weigh, say, 4 tons. If you have 6 or 8 tons of concrete in with it, well, guess what? Instead of paying, let's say, $150 for a whole 20-yard dumpster, you're paying $600 or $700 for a 30-yard dumpster, and you do that enough times, and you know you don't make any money on this. This is a very competitive business. This project, I don't know if we're going to do very good on this one. This building was built by somebody who really wanted to make sure it was going to be hard to fall over. They spent a lot of money in rebar and a lot of money in concrete, especially once we got to the foundation. The foundation was extra thick. It was kind of unusual the way that they did it. They literally poured these footers, and they're like half of our 20-yard dumpsters, which is ginormous. So you see him flipping that red beam around there, that was from a fire suppression system. If you see that pile right there, there's a whole bunch of aluminum and stuff, and what will happen is Sepio will separate what's in C&D there, throw it over into the pile, and then we'll end up taking all that back to the shop and recycling it. There's Sepio found himself a little toy to play with. This is our 65-yard dumpster truck. It can take a huge amount of stuff, and it dumps by itself. It's an end dump. So you see we have a lot of our equipment out at this job right now. Meanwhile, we're working on that project where we had the 6 houses or 9 buildings or whatever out on Cone Road. Working on that at the same time. We just finished up the job on Sanibel, taking down that, I think there was 21 units left over. This is still part of the roof, and he's pulling it down and he's separating as he goes, trying to keep that concrete as clean as possible. The concrete loads again about $150 a load versus the 30-yard dumpsters. If you put concrete in them, it just kills any chance of making a profit on these things.
Almost got the bucket stuck. It came down on the bucket, it was good.
Oh yeah, it came way down on it one time.
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
The machine must be running hot, so he's blowing the dust out of the vents so that they get the machine to cool down. Well, we're getting to the tail end of this project here. This is great news. I know we're out there still today working on the footers, and the footers, not only are they big and gigantic, but the way that they were put together, they must have used some higher PSI concrete, because we are literally having to chip them into little football pieces. It's taken forever. Again, you know, you don't win them all. This one, I don't know if we're gonna make anything on it. You know, a lot of the contractors, they use us because when we give you a price, that's the price. So then them guys goofing off, squirting each other. So there's Colton giving them some advice. So that's Mike out there, and he's knocking down the dust. A lot of times when you're moving the concrete around, it's dusty, but it's normally on the ground within a minute. It's not terrible. It's not something you really would want to breathe a lot. That's why he's got that mask on. Inside of the cab of the excavator, it has a filtration system, and it also has air conditioning and a radio, and you know, it's kind of nice. You see them big footers right there they're pulling out? Well, them footers, normally you would just smack them on the ground and they'll come apart, but that's not what's going on. Concrete company doesn't want them that big. They want them so that they can use their machines and feed them in the rock crusher. So here we are getting to the tail end of this thing. The other rental, we've had it for so long and we're already pushing the envelope on whether we're gonna make any money on this, so we're sending it back. I heard that they're gonna finish this up Saturday, so it's not completely done. And when we're done, we'll clean the whole place up. Look like a very nice, neat, clean lot. And then these guys can figure out what they're gonna build here. I'm sure they already got something in mind to go through the expense of tearing the building down. You'll see right here, Colton is smoothing out this area. You see us come fly over with the drone. So, Mary, we love bringing this content. I've got a couple of videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. We literally pulled over a stilt house out on Colton Road with a 2023 Jeep V8. It's got a Hemi in it. And we pulled a house over with that, and then we pulled a different house over with another Jeep, which is a rock crawler Jeep, very powerful rock crawler Jeep. It's got 1 ton axles and stuff on it. It's also a V8. We took that same house and we used a safe that we got out of a place in Sanibel, an historic bank. We pulled the safe out of there, and what we did is, just for fun, we used it as a wrecking ball, and we beat the crap out of this house with it. We beat the house so bad that the house cracked in half. Also, I jumped up on the wrecking ball like Miley Cyrus. Everybody wanted me to do that, so I don't know if it'll be funny or not. I haven't seen it. After that, we made a dirt ramp, and we ran a truck up and ramped into a building. Then we took the truck and set it on the roof. Then we took the truck and beat the crap out of the house with it. It's pretty good. It's fun. We're waiting to finish that job up before we put them videos on. It's Remove It Pros Demolition. Thanks for being part of our community. We'll see you on the next video. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe and leave us a like. I will see you on the next video.
Like, share, subscribe.
That's right.
Yes, sir. And we're always working 24 hours. We do emergency services, any type of services. Where you need us, we're coming.
Oh man.
Nobody's working harder than us in the industry. What? Remove it. Yes, sir. Remove it.